Hi, it's Candace again with Grow Local, and today we are going to do Three Sisters planting. It is a traditional Native American way of planting where you take three plants, put them together, and they support each other. With this one, I have a 6-pack of corn. I've already planted some of it, but I thought I'd just show you. It comes in a little packet, and you take them apart very similar to when you're using your fingers and your thumbs for opening up a hamburger or a hot dog bun. And you just very gently tease the roots apart. Three Sisters is a method of where you have 1 square foot of growing space, and you're trying to get as much into it as you possibly can. Square foot gardening with kids is kind of fun because you can sneak in a math lesson. If you are going to plant 4 things, and in this one I am just going to plant 4 of this type of corn, it is called glass corn, and you can use it as popcorn when it's ready. You can use it as decorative corn, or you can grind it up and use it as corn flour. But if you're teaching kids how to plant this in, how does he say it? Zip, zap, bing, bing, bing. And in this case, it's zip straight down the middle, zap across, and then bing, 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 and you've got your holes. Teach them farmer's measures too. For me, 1 inch deep is right where the first joint of my finger is. So if I just poke it in, I know I've got the right depth. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that guy's done. Easy peasy. With this one, because I'm going to use the corn that's already started. I find that when you're planting it, when the corn gets to be about knee high is when it's ideal for planting your beans and your squash around it. The reason for this is corn is the oldest sister. She is the one that stands up straight. She doesn't bend a whole lot. She makes the rules. She takes the lead. And I put her in the middle and pot her up. Then you are going to have your beans. This is the middle sister. There's no way you're going to have 2 strong competing sisters in the house. So the bean sister, she has to figure out how to weave her way around and find her place. So I can put 3 bean seeds in here, and they will grow. And beans, when they grow, they will make heart-shaped leaves, and they'll make a pair, then they'll make another pair, they'll probably make a 3rd pair, and then it's like they've turned into teenagers and they've changed their mind. They don't want to do that anymore, and they start to send out a tendril, and it just starts shooting up. And what it does is this tendril is looking for support, and it's going to find the corn, and it will start to wind itself around. And if I remember correctly, whole beans will wind counterclockwise and runner beans will go clockwise. But they also say not all pole beans will do that and not all runner beans will do that. So if you're curious about stuff like that, watch and see what yours does. So your beans are going to grow up. If I was to plant them really early at the same time that I did the corn, I have found sometimes my corn doesn't take off very fast and the beans have a tendency to strangle it and it doesn't work as well. So plant your corn early. When it gets to be knee-high, then plant your beans around it. With this one, I've got a scallopini squash. I love these guys. They're little, they're tiny, they're buttery. You only have to wait till they get to be 1 inch or 2. And then you can toss them in the frying pan with a little bit of butter. They go really, really well with pasta, just on their own. It's my husband's favorite. And I'm only going to plant 1. Now these guys I know don't get really, really huge. The vine itself is probably going to spread out like that, and I'll get lots and lots of patty pan squash off of it. So I don't mind putting it in here. Some of the squash or some of the pumpkins, if you go to plant them in there, please be aware of how long they get. I did one year and it went to 10 feet before it stopped growing. You can actually pinch out the growing tip and stop it from doing that, but corn. Oh, I forgot to say, your squash is the baby sister. She's the one, the middle sister has already figured her way around the big sister. The big sister's got herself established in the house. And the baby, well, she's kind of just, you know, you guys got that all covered. I'm going off this way. I'm going to do my own thing. And the joy of these is they don't take up a whole lot of space. They get piles and piles of food for you. They're fun to do. They are very compatible with each other. And it makes for a nice story. They don't compete with each other like people shouldn't. They work together. You've got the corn growing up straight and tall. It sets out its leaves. You've got your bean that's going to twine around. And if you look, you will find that the beans will always be where the corn leaves aren't, so they're getting enough sunshine. And then your squash, because it's got kind of big hairy leaves, caterpillars and bugs don't really like it. They have shade, so they keep the moisture in your soil and they stop the weeds from growing. And that's the three sisters.